Bitcoin is once again crushing all-time highs. This is something that became abundantly clear as soon as we did this right here, as soon as we really bounced up and started recovering from these $30,000 levels. It was very clear that this bear market was an illusion and that the big money was buying. We saw from on-chain metrics, we saw from price action, and most importantly, we saw from coordinated FUD storms that were all too convenient. Now, you might think that bad news should mean bad price action, but if you've been around here before, you know how to smell through the BS. And that's what this channel is here to do, to help you navigate this wild world and this psychological warfare that is the land of crypto investing. Today, we're going deep, not only showing you every bullish part of what's happening right now in cryptocurrency, how this is inevitably the next layer of the internet that will consume all Web 2 and brick and mortar businesses. We're here to lay out the playbook for how to absolutely crush this Q4 bull run. This is a moment that we've been waiting for literally years. I can't explain how long I've been waiting for this. So if you guys are excited like I am, go ahead, destroy that like button. Remember, each and every comment on this video is entered to win your own hardware wallet. If you're new to crypto and you want to make the absolute most amount of gains here in the market, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and put that bell notification on. And we're going to be giving you the tools, the skill sets to manage your risk throughout this process. With that said, let's dive in. Now, first of all, a cathartic moment here because so many people who hodled, who ignored the FUD, who dealt with pressure from their wives or husbands, whatever it might be, there are always a lot of forces that are pushing everyone to stop hodling, that are pushing you to hit that sell button in the worst of times. And that is the hardest thing to stop yourself from doing. Now, diamond handing is so hard to do, but for those of you who did it throughout this entire dip right here, this is the weekly chart on Bitcoin. And as you can see, we are having an absolutely glorious few weeks here in Bitcoin land. What we know is that throughout the bull run, Bitcoin will move, it'll increase the liquidity in the entire market, and then we'll get a massive altcoin movement. So if you guys are new to the channel, understand that my strategy is very simple. I bet on the most important altcoins. I have some Bitcoin, but I bet the farm on the most important altcoins, which always overperform Bitcoin during a bull run. Now, I want to say that in moments like these, the reality is that it's going to be Bitcoin, 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 all about Bitcoin. And that is exactly what this industry needs to push Bitcoin up to those important price levels, 100,000, potentially beyond. I've seen estimations that the bull run will top anywhere from 80,000 to 300,000 and beyond. For me, I think 80,000 will be a huge level. And let me explain why. Because if you look here, our prior all-time high, if we look at Bitcoin, our prior all-time high was right here at $20,000. Now, if we look at what were very significant levels throughout this bull run, we had a huge dump once we hit $40,000, about 2x. We had the massive dump here when we were around $60,000, about 3x. So it feels as though the round multiples of the prior all-time high seem to have some serious implications on price. Obviously, 30,000 was where we held the line, but if you're asking me, I would not be surprised if we end up with an $80,000 huge war going on. So with that in mind, does that mean that the bull run will be over at $80,000? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's my prediction as we get onto these important numbers. But once this happens, everybody piling in the Bitcoin train, jumping on the Bitcoin bandwagon, actually pumping and believing in that orange coin, it sends confidence to the entire cryptocurrency industry. Bitcoin is the weather. Bitcoin is the health of the crypto industry. When Bitcoin is healthy and onwards and upwards, it creates this insane, amazing risk-on environment for the entire crypto space where altcoins can truly thrive. If only because people are trading them for more Bitcoin. And it is in these moments when every Satoshi is in profits, just like Raphael here is explaining, that a new wave of investors enters the market. And that is precisely when we get these wild manias. Retail FOMO is what they call it. This is where the OGs who have been in the industry forever are starting to make wild profits, and newbies are starting to wrap their head around all new types of concepts. So if you're new around here, please bear in mind there are people who invested way, way below you. $60,000 ago, there are people who bought their Bitcoins, and so they are sitting in massive profits. Just like with altcoins, people are up 10, 20, 100x from where you are. So understand that even though these things can go up wildly, all the newbies here entering in after the all-time high, you're the ones who are usually going to be buying everyone's bags at the top. There's a lot of risk for you guys, so understand that you are the most risky class. And I'm saying this because I didn't quite realize the first time we broke prior all-time highs back in December of last year, how many newbies would come into the space. So I'm trying to speak to you guys, the new entrants into the community. I want this to be a journey that you win, but I'm very aware that most of you will fail, that most of you will get emotional, will overcommit, will buy things that are up 10, 20x, not understanding the risks. So I'm trying to spell out for you the risks now so that hopefully you cannot be another statistic later. For those of you who have been diamond handing, who have been investing, who have been doubling down, who have been crushing NFTs and altcoins on this ride back up from 30K, well, you guys, now this is your moment to shine. Huge congrats to you. Huge congrats to everyone who doubled down and made this their home during the quote-unquote bear of 2021. You deserve these rewards, and it's coming to you right now. Now, according to Barry Silbert, now would be a good time to mute Bitcoin because he says Twitter is going to be so annoying when Bitcoin hits an all-time high. And that's just how it goes, is that everyone's very, very, very tribal in crypto because we all get attacked and called scammers and all these things during the bear markets, and then during a bull market, this is our time to celebrate the difficulty of diamond handing. So this is a celebration of that. But of course, I want to show you data that shows exactly where we're going and how I'm going to be playing my stack and the areas, the coins in which I'm looking to absolutely crush it over the coming days and weeks. We have here Rizzo showing us the Google Trends chart. And by the way, Google Trends is a great indicator of how much FOMO is in the market because we see how many Google searches are going on. And according to Pete Rizzo, it says that we are here at like a 25 read on the Bitcoin searches on Google Trends. By the way, we have been able to match up almost precisely Google Trends with Bitcoin macro top. So as you can see, when Bitcoin is really topping in early April there, we can see that we're at a Bitcoin $60,000 level. We will see similar levels of Google FOMO here when we do reach unsustainable price action. So this is a good thing to keep in mind, that when Google Trends starts spiking up and everyone and their grandma is buying Bitcoin, it might be that this current push is starting to run out of steam. But if you watched the earlier episode with Eric Crown, you'll know that Ethereum is looking to do some absolutely kooky price action, making its way up to 5 figures in the short term. But of course, if you're using Fibonacci extensions, this thing could moon all the way up to the $30,000 and $40,000 if you're using those Fib extension tools. Those are highly, highly speculative, but it is possible. It is possible. I predicted a $20,000 Ethereum at some point in this cycle. I think I will be right. By the way, made those predictions when Ethereum was trading between $200 and $300 last year. So put it in your notebooks and let's see if I'm right about this. But understand at those price levels, the astronomical gains that will come from important L1s, big dexes, play to earn gaming tokens. These are the areas that I find are the absolute biggest areas for gains, especially. And I'm going to be telling you the flow of funds that I see coming and how I'm going to be moving money throughout this. Now, of course, these are just my strategies. You need to make your own strategies. This is not advice. This is not me telling you what to do. If you're new to this game, you cannot operate following other people and simply emulating what they do, because things happen between my videos. I adjust my strategies, and you are not in my brain. You do not have the 4.5 years of full-time crypto experience that I'm using to make my decisions. So you can't follow my strategies, but I can give you information. I can help grow your understanding of the space, the cycles, the flow of funds, the ways to essentially manage risk and extract the best value. But you have to push yourself to the next level. And I know you guys see me talking a lot to the newbies in the audience. There are going to be a lot of them. So let's welcome them with open arms and let's try to give them a hospitable experience here that doesn't leave them wrecked. Now, the biggest news of the day is undoubtedly that Facebook now wants to be a Metaverse company. Facebook is going into the one sector that I have long said is the biggest mainstream wave for blockchain and cryptocurrency. Mark, if you're watching this channel, shout out. I appreciate you catching up here, because since 2018's bear market, it was clear to me that video games with NFTs would be the area where digital assets could truly come to life, have intrinsic value in their experience of being used, and of course, I could see an entire generation catching latching on to crypto in this way. Seeing how seriously Mark Zuckerberg is taking this shows that this metaverse thing isn't 20 years away. It isn't 10 years away. Over the next few years, the companies that build important NFT and metaverse projects will absolutely crush. They will become core infrastructure, core pillars of the next 20 years of digital culture, and I believe that. This is the most important bet in cryptocurrency. So if you're new, learning about metaverse, learning about gaming, learning about NFTs will be the single most important transition and educational experience you can have here in the market. So I encourage you, learn about metaverse, learn about blockchain gaming, learn about NFTs. Understanding these pillars and how they work with mainstream crypto, the people who are just starting out who crush that will be millionaires, and the people who are millionaires who crush that will be billionaires. I'm very, very confident about that. But you have to have a long-term time horizon and understand how to play this, which we'll talk about the strategy of timing the market at the end of the video. Now, we have seen some nice growth out of projects like Convex. Now, I pointed out Convex in the peak of the quote-unquote bear here back in May at about $2. It's about a 10x since then. This is a fantastic DeFi project, but I wanted to bring up DeFi yields in projects like Convex because when DeFi yields, meaning the amount of APY or interest that they're paying you for your stable coins, sometimes that reaches as high as 70, 80, 90%. That's APY, stable coins on stable coins. So for US dollars that have no volatility, I can make 2x my money just putting them in a smart contract. It's very insane when this happens. Those typically mark the peak of the bull run because people think by borrowing these stable coins, they can reinvest in projects like mainstream cryptos that are going up 2x, 10x all the time. And so they're able to pay really aggressive APYs for borrowing because they're pretty sure that that money is going to be doubled and tripled and quadrupled over the coming days and weeks, not over the coming year. So the R&R there is good. But you can also take a peek here and know that actually stablecoin yields right now are very low compared to where they were at the peak of February or August bull runs. These are really important data points, and this is something you should keep your eye on to understand when the next market top might be, because as DeFi yields go absolutely nuts on projects like Convex and YFI and other DeFi lending platforms, it's worthwhile keeping your eye on those because that might signal that the move has reached its apex. You also see a nice move here out of Moonriver. It looks like it's kind of wanting to have a nice candle to break out of this descending pattern that it's been in now for several months. Remember, Moonriver is one of my big picks for the DOT ecosystem. It's definitely the concentration of where all the good energy is happening in the DOT ecosystem now. I don't have any drawing tools up here, but I'd imagine if this move extends a little further here, maybe up to the $300 range, we'd start to see a reversal here. Again, this breakout on Moonriver has been imminent. It's been a long time waiting. We will see what happens here. I'm a big holder of Moonriver and Convex, just full disclosure here. I hold almost all the coins I talk about, so it's important you guys know that as I'm going through. I'm covering a lot of coins that I invest in. So yes, I do have an active stake in the market. I want you guys to know that. There's a lot of new people entering the channel, and I'm sure you guys might not all know that I always put my money where my mouth is. And yet more companies embrace NFTs, with Playboy introducing their Rabbitars, which is their avatars, their Rabbitars here. They're doing a 10K generative project, and they also bought an app here that looks like they're going to take advantage of NFTs and blend it with the OnlyFans model. So Playboy with a big pivot into NFTs. And honestly, this is something that I was actually looking forward to, because the reality is that they are a perfect company to sort of evolve into NFTs. I was surprised that they hadn't. Very collectible, very brand centric. I'm very curious to see how this goes. And as you can see, they have the 0.1953. I guess that might be the year that Playboy was founded. I'm not sure, but it's cute. It's cute. So as Bitcoin crushes its all-time highs, we're going to see a flood of new interest and excitement in the markets. Those new buyers are going to be on exchanges like Coinbase, exchanges like FTX, exchanges like Crypto.com, and they're going to flood into those major high-cap altcoins to look for a little more gains. So look for those layer 1 blockchains in the top 10, in the top 20, even the top 50 to start catching wild waves of bullishness. That's going to be the next big category to move. After that, we're going to see smaller narratives start to really pick up steam. I'm looking at play-to-earn gaming, metaverse, and NFT projects to go absolutely bananas. But after the altcoin season has potentially run its course and we start seeing 100x gains on every single IDO, we start seeing all kinds of wild bullishness in the market, I believe what we see next, after Bitcoin makes its big move and then altcoins, I believe what we see is a massive move out of NFTs. I think that's going to be the last move. If you're new in the market and you're looking just to get some some gains here. My opinion, just the way I would do things is I would start with major cap altcoins. Things like Ethereum, Polkadot, Binance Chain, Solana, Phantom, Moonriver, the potential new parachains that come into the Polkadot ecosystem. Those are all things that I think are very easy plays that are sort of set it and forget it, and I believe that they will inevitably grow with this bull run. If you're looking for more advanced plays that'll get more 50, 100x, 1000x gains, then you're definitely going to want to subscribe with that bell notification on, because I'm going to be doing some more advanced level picks. Those of course come with way more risk. A lot of those can go up 1000x or down 99%, so you have to be really prepared to lose a lot of money with those. But if you guys want the more high R&R picks, make sure you subscribe and put that bell notification on, because I'm going to be coming out with time-sensitive content that absolutely must be watched immediately. If you don't have the bell on, you might be the 20,000th, 50,000th, 100,000th person to watch the video, and of course at that point it's not really a secret piece of information anymore. So with that in mind, I highly encourage you to have that bell notification on. As always, if you enjoyed this, smash that like button. You can find me on Twitter at EllioTrades. The link is in the description, and I will see you very soon on the next episode.